There. It says live here. Um, uh, because no.
Oh, wait, let me see.
Yeah, it's on private. Yeah,
It's
I
on
can see it.
private. Okay.
Yeah. Because I'm
Sino
leaving my phone on the
mag-i-interview?
other table because you might call again.
Nako, ako'y maiging tinatanong nito. Kung sino
Nate,
yun.
can you
Yes?
can you later share the link so people can see?
Okay, sure. Unless, oh wait, let me change the thumbnail first.
Okay.
Yeah. What time is
Ow!
it? Is it, oh, ano?
It's 9.
Kakagulat ka naman.
It's 9:04.
Aba, Luis, ako'y maiging tinatanong nitong si Leonardo.
Mm-hmm.
Kung sino daw mag-i-interview. Sabi ko tayong tatlo.
Wait lang. Why do you have an Iloilo shirt?
Ha? Ay, hindi. Nanggaling ako ng Iloilo before when I was
Oh.
in elementary. So hanggang ngayon, kasya pa siya sa akin.
Ganyan kalaki.
And ginagamit ko siya for reaction.
Oh.
Kasi, ha? Oo. Kasyang-kasya pa siya sa akin, in
Do
fairness
you know
naman.
how long were you in Iloilo?
Ano lang? No, for 1 week lang due to the activities ng school.
Akala
Kasi
ko mag-Ilonggo.
participant ako nun sa National Children's Science Interactive Workshop or NCCO.
Wow. Naks naman.
So,
I thought you knew how to
yeah.
speak Ilonggo.
No.
So who's there?
Who's in the waiting
Still
room?
M and Solo. I think if there is like one more cast in the waiting room, we can just
We need to...
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay.
If it's only two, like it's...
Ano, hindi pa pala ako nag-change ng thumbnail. Akala ko nag-change na ako.
Oh, wait. Yeah.
Yes.
It says live now. No. I was looking at the visibility. It says private, and then on the date it says live now. We just have to change it to public.
Yeah, I changed it. Okay.
No, don't you dare.
The thumbnail.
The thumbnail, yes, you can.
But the title, I will change it after.
Mm-hmm. What's the title now? Okay.
The title here is PsychoMilk X Influencers.
We have Romeo, so we can start, right?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, he's missing. Wait. Always happen to him. Wait.
Who?
Romeo. He's always like going.
Romeo Malihan?
Ask them first if they're ready so that we can start. So I can finish my cigarette.
Okay.
Two.
Okay, we can start. You have to finish your cigarette. There.
You need to go. You need to finish it first.
Go.
It's okay.
Ned, can you make it public?
Oh, okay. Yay. Okay na. Wait lang. Let me see in the channel if we're live right now.
Yes, we are.
Yes, we are. Okay.
Hello. Good happy Sunday, you all. Welcome back to PsychoMilk channel. Today, together with me, Miles, and there is also Louis and Nate. We're going to talk with the cast of influencers, #influencers, the series. We have been waiting for so long to have like a lot of talk with them, to have a deep, real talk chat with them.
Right.
So without further ado, let's introduce the cast that's already here.
Yeah, who's the cast that's
Hello, we have right now there is like Cholo, Am, and also Romeo. We are still waiting for them to set up a bit. We can start to introduce them.
Okay, before we actually introduce the cast, let me just say a few words so
Okay.
that we can actually have a little
Go ahead.
bit of background um, about the activity tonight. So, good evening. I feel like a bit of a sore thumb here with all the good looking people of the influencers cast. I mean, can you just imagine how these guys look? And you've seen them in the previous episodes, and to say the least, that these are gifted individuals. Uh, they're so gorgeous, and based from their previous conversations with them on my birthday event, no less, I know for a fact that these are well opinionated and very smart individuals. Well, since at first meeting, and based on the episodes already shown, well, we all know, at least those of us who follow the series, we know that these influencers are reflections of some of the thoughts of others that they could not voice out. Precisely why we thought of this event. PsychoMilk being one of the earliest blogs to promote and cater to the BL genre. In fact, we started way back in 2012. Has always been on a constant lookout for ways to dig more into the actors, the production, and the storytellers in order to help promote the series. And Miles here, our colleague, um, one of our own, has been adopted as technically part of the Camp Avenue family, while we are all behind them 100%. So before we start with our little exclusive tonight, let me just explain a bit of why this is entitled Questions No One Dared Ask. So, as influencers, each of us, so we consider ourselves as influencers as well, considering a lot of the PsychoMilk family have our own channels, and that we are present across all social media platform, and soon we will be in Kumu app as well. We should be responsible to voice out the hidden things that people may be uncomfortable to talk about, but are issues that are very important to the growth of the genre, the society, and the raising of the LGBTQIA flag. Also, everyone has been asking us why the name PsychoMilk. Well, our founder, Red, who is currently recuperating, started as a blogger for movie reviews and such. But when he fell in love with BL, things changed. We are all a bunch of crazy individuals with our own different personalities and span members and contributors across the globe. Hence, Psycho. That's where the Psycho part came from. While Milk pays tribute to the two of the most iconic BL series from Thailand, the Pink Milk from Sotos and the original Two Moons. With that being said, I hope we have fun tonight and we get to learn more about these gorgeous individuals in our panel, a panel I can't really decide on which I have the most crush on, actually. So I'm very excited to actually meet all of them. So, Miles, if they are ready, let's all
Okay.
meet them.
Thank you so much, Louis, for your explanation about psychomilk and about what we are going to have. We are going to have like tonight. So I will
Mhm.
introduce the cast of hashtag influencers that already with us tonight. We will start with the gorgeous, always gorgeous MNSS, who plays Cassandra Vergara in hashtag influencers series.
Hi
Hello, Am. How are
guys.
you?
Nice to see you
I am.
again.
Hello. I
Hi.
love the hair.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's growing na nga eh.
Yeah.
Of
Do you
course.
have any words for us or introduce yourself? Give us a little bit of background before we introduce some of the other cast members.
Okay, hi guys. I'm Eminesis. I play Casper Gara, and I think I've introduced my character so many
Mhm.
times already. And I
Yeah.
just appeared in episode two,
Hmm.
and in episode three, I get a kind of more screen time, especially with my co-actor Maz, who I'm not sure if she's coming in later. But yeah, I'm happy to be here, and I'm happy to hear about the history of Psycho Milk. I didn't know that.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Besides Am, we also have Romeo Malihan, who plays the character of Cholo Cruz, who's missing in the third episode of hashtag influencer. So, where did you go, Romeo?
What's that?
Where did you go in the third episode of hashtag influencers?
So basically, I am Romy Malihan, and I play the role of Cholo Cruz. So Cholo Cruz is good friends with both the leads, namely Ram and Migo Valle. But later on, you'll find out what's the deeper story behind my character. So I'm glad I'm here with you guys again.
Thank
Thank
you.
you,
And
Romeo.
we also have Cholo. Are you there, Cholo?
Hi
Oh,
guys.
hi. Can you
Hi.
introduce yourself?
Hi,
Sure, sure.
Cholo.
Hi po. Hi, I am Cholo Sutiangco and I'll be playing the role of Ramo Gonzilio. Of course, my love interest here will be Migo Valle, my co-lead actor. In the series, sorry, I am a lifestyle and travel influencer. So I'm not the, social political one, which is, you know, Migo. So yeah, I'm actually friends with Cholo Cruz, which is Romeo, and I'm actually best friends with Mas Esquivel, who's playing the role of Jessica Fermin. Yeah.
Thank you. And last but not least, the one who stole everybody's heart in the third episode of Hashtag Influencers, the series, Denjo. Hello, Denjo. Hi. Oh, you look great tonight.
Oh, thank you.
Can you
I'm
introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Denjo. I'll be playing Andre Mayormente in the series. I'm the life of the party. I'm the joker on the group, and I always want to make fun with my friends. Then hi.
Hello.
Thank you. So, Luis, you want to start first?
Um, Again, I'd like to say that this is not your usual interview because we basically compiled a bunch of questions that your director and your writer actually read, and we asked. If it was okay to ask these questions because as our the title of our episode is, the questions will be getting more and more difficult to answer as we progress because these are questions that no one dared ask. I'm kind of speechless because Cholo is there. I'll, yeah. There. So I'll start with the first question. This goes out at first for the first five questions. I'd like to ask anybody who actually wants to answer the question. Okay. First, first question. As
Parang
an
feeling ko
actor,
finals exam to. Bakit parang
Yeah.
Diba?
finals?
yeah. Ah,
Kakabahan ka kung babagsak o hindi.
This
kasi,
is like a
kasi,
Miss Universe things. Like,
Parang nararamdam, I feel, I feel the heartbeat.
kasi, kasi the first time I talked to you guys, you were so opinionated, and I feel like we need to hear more about your thoughts because your thoughts are so well spoken, and they represent a lot of things that people just do not have the courage to speak about. But first, let's start light. So, first question: as an actor or actress, part of the process or preparation before doing any work is to unpack your baggages. We all know that because I've been on stage as well. So that you become your character. So you unpack your baggages, you become the character. What if your baggages is actually the baggages of the characters that you represent? Who wants to answer?
I think Dendro has a lot of experience in that.
Okay,
Danger has a lot of baggages.
No, experience lang.
And baggages.
and
So
Yeah,
baggages.
Ilang kilo ba yan?
Excess
Mm.
baggage.
uh, um, to be honest, I always say to my co-stars that me myself personally, I relate a lot on my character, Andre Mayormente, because we have so much in sin. We had so much alike. I mean, we. I really don't know if I can say it, but I have love problems too, like Andre Mayormente. Um, I've been through a lot. I've been on my past relationships. It ended not really well, but oh my god, I'm getting nervous right now. I don't want to sound so personal, but um Oh my god, getting blank. Um, a part of my personal life has been on its ups and downs this year. And when I accepted this role, it's half of me is happy, but part of myself is saying to my subconscious mind,
Mm,
it's telling me that, am I prepared enough for this role? Because the similarity of the character that I played and me myself personally is so much alike that I even thought that I was the basis of this character.
mm,
So for me, to to be honest, when I accepted this role, I'm not really prepared personally because um there are issues for myself personally that I'm not ready yet to solve. I'm not I'm not even prepared to tackle it. But Direk and my co-stars helped me a lot to deal with it when I was in the taping
mm.
stage, when we are dealing with when we are doing this project. And I'm really thankful for all of my co-stars, Cholo, M, Maz, Leon, Romeo, to Direct and to all the prod. They really helped me a lot to on how I tackle this issue of mine. So that's it.
Yeah, perfectly said. So that's the first question. Um, Second question, Nate. Do you want to read the second question?
Okay, so despite the rules of no dating between the casts, what if in reality you feel something for your co-star?
Anyone
Hmm,
would like
anyone?
to answer that?
Yeah, I think I'll answer. Um,
Go ahead.
yeah, I just think that we accepted this project in the first place without considering that possibility, right? So it was all about work, and we just gotta do the job and be professional. So yeah, I think it's safe to say that we have to stick to that part wherein I think work must come first at all times, and we signed a contract. And yeah, I think that we should focus more on the success of the project, on
Mm,
um, uh, doing better, I guess, every day. So yeah, I think that can wait. Having personal feelings towards other cast members or whatsoever. Yeah, maybe we can pursue, but I would, well, if I were in that situation, maybe I would pursue the person, my co-star, after the series.
but follow-up question on that: is that a possibility for you? You think if that ever happens?
Um, Personally, my uh, I'm not usually marupok. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, if you guys know what marupok means, but
Mm, yes.
um, usually when my mind is always stronger than
Mm,
whatever external whatever is out there. When
mm,
I tell myself that, yeah, I'm here to work. So yeah, I'm there to work, nothing more.
okay. Miles, you want to
Thank
ask the
you.
third question? Yeah.
Before
Thank
I
you very
ask the
much,
third
Colby.
questions, we should introduce our favorite Cheska Femin. Hi, Mas. Can you
Okay.
introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Math Estival and I'll be playing Chaska Flumin on hashtag influencers this series.
Thank
I
you.
love the hair.
Thank you.
You, I don't know if you guys did the makeovers, but you look extra gorgeous tonight, all of you. Um,
Thank you po.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Wala kagigising.
Thank you.
Miles just woke up.
Yeah,
Like literally.
sorry.
Woke up like this.
Oh
woke
my
up
God.
like this.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay, so the third questions would be this is actually from our contributor, Yumiko from Spain.
Mm,
She's musical teacher, so She really want to know if you were to act on scene and you were able to hear music that is suitable for the scene and the script, would it help you act better and put on your character shoes easier? I think I would love Am to answer this.
Oh, that's funny. I'm pretty sure like musical theater is a totally different thing. Just singing or having to act while singing. But for us, music was a big factor. I think being on set, our production really made it a point to play our soundtrack. While, while we were waiting or like just hanging out, they would play our soundtrack just to either lighten the mood or like get us into the feels, but also personally each and every one of us like we would have our own alone time or zoning in moments right before our scene, and we would just like literally isolate ourselves with our whatever we need to do. If we just needed to breathe or like get some fresh air, some of us actually have our own playlists, so if we needed to be in a certain mood, then we would play like sad songs, the saddest songs that we could that we had on our whatever playlist. But yeah, I think it's a big help. I mean, it's not like the end all of it, but of course, as human beings, we cannot force our own emotions, even our
Mhm.
own moods, our physical feelings. For that taping day, we might be
Correct.
shooting a happy scene, but then we don't actually feel 100% that day. So music is a great like sensory technique that can help us get into the zone. So yeah, I know that a couple of us used that technique while we were on set. I personally did for a really heavy
Mhm.
scene.
That's great. Uh, this question is directed to Romeo. Um, Romeo, Ram said in the first episode, many times in our lives that we encounter uncertainties in our decisions. The question is, when was the last time that you became uncertain when it came to your personal decisions? Romeo,
Yeah.
is Romeo still here? Yeah.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Maybe when during the time when I found out that there is a casting for a series.
Mhm.
During that time, we do not know yet what's the specific title or story, but prior to that, I'm aware that it's gonna be a BL genre. It's a
Mhm.
new genre. So at first, it's kind of I can accept the project anytime. Well, basically because it's gonna be my first time. It's gonna
Mhm.
be my first acting job, an entry to entrance to show business. Um, um, so there was really no hesitations. However, I got a bit worried because I belong to a family of politicians.
Mhm.
So currently my dad is in position, and of course living in my province in Batangas, it's kind of the culture and the environment is kind of different compared to other provinces.
Mhm.
Well, in Batangas, um, there's this um, how do you call this? There's this um, we are called to be matapang, to be strong, to
Mhm.
be diba? When you're in Batangas, you
Correct.
are called that way,
Mhm.
diba? So
Correct.
you have to be firm, diba? Um, to look like really strong. Um, so my family have that thinking that you have to be manly, and considering this project, it's gonna be different, and they might think that especially my father, that it might be off, especially
Mhm.
for him and for our relatives and for his
Mhm.
constituents, because it's a different genre, and
Mhm.
and in reality it's kind of these people are they're not comfortable having this kind of genre, diba?
Mm.
So during that time, um, that was the main conflict that is going around into my mind. But however, as the day proceeds, after casting, we had several video meeting with the cast, with the production, and it went smooth. I was able to explain to my parents what's gonna happen, what's this series is all about, and the transition was really smooth. The way different from how I expected it would be. So yeah,
Perfect answer. By the way, that also happens in any political families because
yeah,
my family is actually political as well. And I know for a fact that you have to present a certain characteristics when you are out in public,
yeah,
even if just a small deviation from the norm can be questioned. So you have to be careful of what you do.
yes,
So
yes.
I totally understand that, and that's a perfect answer. Thank you very much from you, Nate. Next question, please. And if you want to direct it to someone specific, please do so.
Okay, so the fourth question is about about the cancel culture. We all remember the reason for hashtag cancel Migo is because of the backliners, which are our farmers, and for hashtag cancel Ram is because of the bottom shaming that was started by Perez Hidalgo, in which become trending on Twitter. What will you say to Ram and Migo about those netizens who canceled them? Anyone? Anyone?
You know what? I feel
Yeah.
like we're in a thesis a
Thesis
Yeah,
thesis
Oh, feeling
defense.
ko,
defense.
feel like somebody's gonna
Nagdi-defense.
pull my
Wait lang.
index card.
Wait
Tama, parang
lang. Ba't
thesis
kasi tayo
defense.
nagdi-defense? Ako
Tama nga
nagtitesis
eh.
ako pero hindi ko alam parang
Nate,
defense na to
you'd be a
ha.
good teacher, ha? You'd be a good
Yeah.
teacher. I felt the anxiety.
Hindi naman po ako
You
ganun ka-stricto mga
alam mo,
ma'ams,
we
mga
we can
paps.
actually make
You can
the
doing, guys.
Let
we can actually have the
Tagalogin ko
answers.
kaya.
Pwede. I
Ayun,
can
para hindi
I
kayo
can
hihirapan, my God.
pwede ko naman i-translate kay Malsey, but she's better in Filipino anyway. She's getting better in Filipino. She might
Yan,
get
oo.
the drift anyway. Pero yun, you can always lighten the answers with a joke or something. Hindi naman tayo
Yeah.
sobrang seryoso dito. The questions might be serious, but you can answer as lightly as you can. You can even put it in a joke form. But
If you
Come on,
want to
guys.
sing to
asking,
answer
Come on, guys.
questions,
Loosen up.
yeah,
if you
exactly.
What?
want answered with singing, it's also okay.
Correct.
Do you
Correct.
do you
I
have
agree.
any song to answer that questions is also okay?
Mm.
Oh,
Miles, you're looking for a
tama.
show, huh?
Ah, of course.
Always looking for a show.
I'm looking directly to Romeo, like what Michael Jackson song that you prepared tonight?
I was not present that
The
night.
world.
Is it
Beside
I
Heal the
him,
hope that was
World?
recorded. Oh man, I heard about that
I
one.
mean, beside Heal the World, maybe like Man in the Mirror. I don't know, like
Oh, guys, answer the question daw. What do you want to say to Ram and Miko about their haters? Sila
Yes.
naman
Sige.
sila, di ba?
Hmm.
Sige, I
Haters.
think I can say something. Uh, well, um, first of all, I've already said this on my past interviews. I really gave up on the real definition of influencers because I just really want to let the people decide. Some are gonna call me influencers, some are not. Well, some are gonna base from my followers, and some are gonna base on my intentions or my content. So, yeah, I've lost interest already in when they're asking me, "Are you an influencer?" I'm not sure. Do you think I'm an influencer? Yeah, stuff like this. But most of the time, I get bashed by certain people who I don't know. Um, I don't know what's their intention, or but I just think that whatever I say has always a different meaning, a different interpretation to others. And I get that. I get that my perspective may be different from their perspective, from their point of view. And it's the same for me. I mean, some people might say something with good intentions, and I might, get it as something like offensive, right? So, yeah, so maybe what I'm going to say to Ram and Migo is that I think, as M used to say to us, stick to your objectives. Your true intentions, your objectives in general. I think that's all that matters. And along the way, you will learn how to interpret yourself, how to use the proper words, use appropriate terms. I think that's what we should look more into, because as influencers or as big personalities, the choice of words and how we say it, how we communicate with other people is always gonna be controversial. Just a negative word could actually ruin your statement and make it look like, all bad. Yeah, it's how
Mm.
crucial it is. So, yeah, along the way, people are gonna, I know, along the way, you're gonna learn. I hope Migo and Ram could learn how to maybe separate that part, because we have lives outside of social media. We don't. I myself is, I'm a living testament to that, because what you see on my social media accounts are not me. The life I have behind my social media accounts are totally different from what I show on social media.
Mm.
So yeah, I hope they learn how to, somehow deviate from that and just focus on their personal lives and their true intentions.
Mhm. Very well said. Um, Looking back, when on the onset of social media, that's when actually the term influencer came about, because people started creating content, and when people started creating content, they began to influence other people to buy stuff, to do things, or to basically create their own personalities. But um, as a term, the influencers itself is not an old term, or it's not being used a long time ago. It's basically an urban word. So it's a street word or an urban word that has been used just currently, and it describes people like you, like everyone else who wants to basically create content. Um, but if we actually look at our beginnings, we started this for fun, or some had different objectives, or some had different aims. But basically, we did it for fun. um, Along the way, we became the influencer that people are looking up to, or people are bashing, basically. So if whatever the case may be, if you're being bashed, or if you are being followed, or if you're being emulated by others, you're still an influencer. It depends on the context of what you do. And as you said, when people ask you if you're an influencer, that's a very good. That's a perfect answer to throw at them. Am I? Because it's up to the person who actually emulates you if you are an influencer, or if you influence them. So your answer is very perfect. And for all of us here, we're basically all influencers. Us in PsychoMilk, me, I have my own channel. I have my Wattpad page. I have my other social media platforms. Nate has his own YouTube channel. Miles does
I
creation,
have my
and
own
a lot of
nation.
us, exactly. So we also
Mouse
have,
Nation.
yeah, we all have different. We all started with different objectives, and right now those objectives change as time goes by, because the needs of our fans, basically we're gaining fans whether we like it or not. The It may be called, they may be called followers, they may be called subscribers, they may be called families, they may be called brothers and sisters, or whatever. But still, it does not deviate from the fact that we are influencing people. So it is our responsibility to be responsible as well in the content that we bring. So if I was actually asked this question, I just tell, well, this is my content. In the first place, you went into my channel, you went into my page. This has been my content. I have my own agenda. These are the contents I want to say. These are the things I want to share with other people. So if this is beyond your sensibilities, then you're not required to be here. So yes, we don't have to force ourselves to be called as influencers, but ultimately we are there.
Now it feels like an online class, yeah?
Yeah, exactly.
After
May
this,
I
That's
we're
add,
going to have a
actually?
quiz.
manifestation.
May
After
I
this,
add to
we're going
what
to have
Louis
quiz.
said?
Yes. Sure, Anne,
Um,
go.
I super agree with all of what you said. Because I know it's a living organism, all these things
Exactly.
that are happening right now.
Yeah.
And also, I think at the same time, on the other side of the fence, there's a really important balance between being hyper aware versus being just an asshole. Like there's awareness, self awareness, that is
Mm.
such a important thing for people nowadays, where you can like look at the screen, see yourself, and also it's Black Mirror feels,
Mm.
so this self-awareness is so crazy right now that you can that we've never as a human race experienced this before. So now each and every one of us is having this kind of conflict between, am I the one in the wrong, or is
Mm.
am I actually doing what's right? So that kind of balance it definitely can be mitigated by learning and always
Mm.
keep staying informed and staying on top of it, instead of just sticking to your values, which is like you said, Luis. Your content changes. Your content
Mm.
changes. Who's listening? How far your reach is.
Mm.
So that's why you have to be on your toes, and you can't stick to the same material over and over again. You're
Exactly.
not a you're not an old stand-up comedian using the
Mm.
same punchline all the time. So that's why influencers or so-called influencers always have to keep coming up with new
Correct.
content, and also facing up to their responsibilities or stuff like that.
Mm.
Just being accountable for what they say.
Perfect. Perfect.
100
In
score for you, Anne.
Correct.
A plus.
Yeah.
Yay!
But you know what, guys? I think, the so-called influencers, as Em
Mhm.
said, the ones who get canceled
Mm.
every now and then, I think it's just because they're missing the most important part. Uh, they're forgetting how to learn from their mistakes. I think
Exactly.
that's a basic rule. That's a basic
Correct.
rule that when you're an influencer, you're not perfect. Or when you
Mm.
want to call yourself an influencer, you're not perfect. You will commit mistakes along the way, but you have to realize that these spectators, uh, those who point out what's wrong, they're really important because they're gonna show you or they're gonna teach you some things or some points you missed out or you haven't thought about. Yeah, and I just think that these people who get canceled frequently, they're forgetting about it. It's because they don't listen. They
Mm.
don't understand what these spectators are saying. So yeah, I think they should learn how to listen as well.
Okay. That's very
And
important because I just learned in one of a discussion I joined last week that when bashers are actually when your comments are actually when your content are actually full of bashers and the comments are mostly negative, at first you will feel guilty or sometimes you will feel hate or anger, but forget about it because one piece of advice I heard about I heard that was very important, which actually stuck me, and then made me think, was that forget about the bashes first and then take 2 to 3 days and then read it again, because after you calm down and you forget about the anger, you forget about the insecurities you have, and then you stop yourself from being defensive. Sometimes these bashers are the ones who will let you grow because they made the conscious decision to give you those comments, because even if those are hate comments, but you can still learn from them, because they notice something that you did not notice. So it's time for you to grow. So that's a perfect example. Yeah.
I
But
Thank you
remember
very much.
also,
when
like,
Yes, Romeo.
for okay.
sige, go, Maz.
Yeah, but also for me, like, in terms of that, yes, we do have bashers. Yes, we
Mm-hmm.
should be like aware to the you call this for the to the criticisms and all. I mean, we should be conscious of ourselves and reevaluate ourselves. But at the same time, there are some bashers who would just dig up your past
Mm-hmm.
and use it against
Yes.
you.
Mm-hmm.
Not like, I mean, people grow, people change.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, if you've made the mistake in the past and you've said
Mm-hmm.
these things that you didn't mean at that time, and obviously you've learned from them, but people tend to like dig dig up things from your past to use it against you today.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess that's my opinion. For me, I don't know how to deal with those stuff because most of the influencers right now, especially in the US, are getting canceled over the things they've done like 5 years ago, 10 years
Correct.
ago,
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
right? Which obviously these people have learned, they have grown from it, but I still don't understand why these people have to like piggyback this whole cancel culture.
It
Those are
depends
the
Mm-hmm.
type of
though.
scenarios I don't understand.
It depends if
Mm-hmm.
it's a pattern though.
Yeah.
If it's a pattern. If
Mm.
it's
Mm-hmm.
done in the past as a mistake, then fine, let it go. But if it's a
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
continuous pattern, then that's why it's current. But I see where you're coming from, definitely.
Mm-mm-mm.
I understand too, because there are really some people who have grudges against you. Then will just dig out your dirt and then throw it back at your face, and then they will continue to do so until you notice. But if you give them the bullet and just make them fire at you, it is when you actually react. If you react negatively and basically reply to these comments that you know are just your dirt and they're digging up, you're basically pointing the gun at yourself. So let them be. There are comments that we can, or basically bashes that we can get things out of, but there really are bashes that are worthless. They are there for just to irritate.
I just remember what Cholo said before with one of our interviews na
Mm-hmm.
kapag influencer ka dapat hindi ka tanga.
Mm-hmm.
Di ba?
That's true. That being said, I'll go to the next question. Anyone can answer this. So this actually relates to the previous one. Uh, what does it mean to have a conscience?
The angel and devil.
Wow.
Yun.
I mean, wow. Is this religion class or
Bigyan ng
theology?
95
No,
yan.
Theology,
no,
guys.
no. What I mean by conscience is that it doesn't have to be a religious conscience, but ano ba yung konsensya mo? Baka safeguard kung gusto
Oh,
mo. Pwede naman safeguard, di ba?
philosophy pala to.
Moral compass, guys. Anong moral compass nyo?
Mm.
Oh, wow. Time old question. You might as well ask
Yeah.
us like
Yeah.
what happens after we die.
Mm.
Oh, yeah.
And
Oh
is
my
there heaven
God.
and earth or purgatory, something like that,
Sorry, Luis. Okay, what do you mind? Like what in like what context? Like
In
if
what
you could
context? Okay.
narrow
As
it down.
okay. When you speak out and then you know that your words are being listened to by a lot of people, and some people may actually um take action and be role models. What do you think is the responsibility, your responsibility, not only as let's see, let's forget the word influencers for now, maybe just actors and actresses, or just basically playing characters that have agendas in the story. um, what is the role of the conscious, your conscience? Anong konsensya mo? Anong role mo doon para mag-guide yung mga taong nanonood? Basically, ganun. As in the context of the show.
And
Um, okay. Denjo.
I mean, for me, I don't mind having a role. I mean, having an antagonist role that
Mm-hmm.
doing such bad things. I mean, for me, it's if I feel that it's a career move for me playing a
Mm-hmm.
bad role, that
Mm-hmm.
doing bad things, that my followers think na why did he accept it? I mean, personally, I don't mind. I mean, if the context of conscience is if it will might affect my image be- because I accept that role, um, it's I really don't I really can't figure out how can I explain myself for accepting a role doing such bad things. I, I, I mean, you
Range.
and
Range lang.
Mm-hmm.
Kaya
Tama.
ko
it's really
yun.
it's really
Hindi.
Tama.
hard the question. To be honest.
Si Cholo then he wants to be the bad guy eh. But
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
really.
like what I as an actress, I mean, as just speaking as an actress,
Mm.
I always say first and foremost when you're doing a role, don't judge your character. That's what I always say. It's
Yeah.
Tama.
because don't judge your character because this scene, this play, it's not good versus evil. You're not playing Macbeth or anything like that. It's people with intentions. It's people with
Mm.
objectives. It's people with a life. And if you play it flat evil, flat bad guy, that's not interesting. We know those flat bad guys, and we don't care about them. But
Correct.
when you see a bad guy who actually like has a story, has a reason why he's that way or why he's doing
Multi-layered.
exactly, and then you put that dimension into a character, and then that's when your conscience comes into play. You are a human person inhabiting a role, and you're giving that character the reasons why they're that way. If the writers didn't write it that way, then you're an active uh, that's your job. That's your job as a
Correct.
human, like vessel to give justice to that character, whether it's good or evil in the eyes of the others. They don't know your story. They don't know the truth that you're portraying. So I think that's the bottom line of it naman talaga is that you are representing the truth of that character, whether it seems good or evil in somebody else's perspective. That's the truth. So conscience wise, your conscience is clear because you're
Correct.
representing the truth. You're not lying. Acting is not
Yes.
lying.
Yeah.
Tama.
That's why, di
So
ba, we have character debriefing, thorough character debriefing even before we started because um, our writer at Steph actually really wanted us to understand our characters really, really well. That she wanted for us to get where Ram is coming from, what happened in the past, what are his learnings, which part of Ram that I don't understand, I should ask her, stuff like those. And and Mads really went through those. They always ask each other at Steph like every 30 minutes, like, Ate Steph, why is it like this? Why is Cassandra like this? Why is Jessica like this? And the greatest part about that is all of us, after or even in the middle of the shoot, we had learnings of why is Cassandra like this? Or if personally, if I would be in this position, what would you do? Would you do the same thing as the character did? Yeah, so yeah, that's the best part about acting. And as long as you learn something and you know what's right and what's wrong while portraying that character, whether the action is good or bad, the intention is good or bad, the most important thing is you learned about it.
Hmm. Perfect. Anyone else wants to answer that? Nate, you want to answer the question, or Mouse, you want to answer the question? We've been silent here.
Bakit kasi parang thesis to? Ano ba yan?
These are questions.
Oral exams.
Actually,
Magaling ako sa oral exams.
This is the objective that we want.
Sana all magaling sa oral exam.
essay na lang
Ako
ako,
actually,
hindi
essay.
see,
eh. Written
see,
lang
I
ako
Oral
know
gusto
this.
lang.
eh.
Written ako.
As I said, sinabi ko nga na I
Hmm.
noticed na medyo opinionated tong mga cast nila. And it's very obvious that they're smart. They're not just people without just acting out the script, but they have their own opinions and their own personalities, which they bring into the series as well. and helps their characters be real. Kasi nagkakatotoo lang yung character mo kung may pinaghuhugutan ka or may maibigay ka na part of yourself into the process. So yon. Let's make it a little interesting. I like Miles to read or Nate. I want Nate to read question number
Before
8.
Nate with the questions, I just want to say that we actually propose a lot of things to your director, but this is the one that he chose.
Yeah.
No,
Nate,
it's a joke. But
Nate
he did approve this. Nate, do you want to ask the questions?
number 8.
Number 8, okay. For
Lucky
question
eight.
number 8, being young, healthy adults, how is sexual desire important to you in a relationship?
Very.
Yeah. True. Very.
Wow. I told you guys this is like
10 over
theology
10.
class. Like
Sino
are
ba
we
kasing
talking
teacher
about
You
nito?
talk about sex in
Pambihira
your
kayo.
theology class?
are we guys talking about premarital sex
No.
here, or if
No.
we go or that? I
No,
think
Sexuality
it's
lang daw.
not.
related.
It's not premarital sex at all. It's about being healthy human beings. Yun.
Sino ba kasing
Okay.
teacher nito?
Namumula ka ba,
Oh.
Cholo?
And we're sex
Yes,
positive
Oh my
namumula ka.
people.
God! I
Namumula ka
mean,
to.
Kaya ba to
yeah,
ni
Namumula si
Cholo?
these
Cholo.
these are questions no one dared to ask.
Sabi
Diba?
nga
Yeah.
naman.
Parang,
Exactly.
sorry.
I think it's safe to say we're all sexual beings here.
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah.
it's very rare that you're not. It's they're their
Exactly.
own. They are their own minority.
Tama. Tama yun.
Tama.
I
I
agree.
mean, we were born out of sex, so
Mhm. Tama.
Natural human ano yun.
Okay. So I'd like to follow that up with question number 9. If you say that love has no gender and that at this time and age, everyone can just freely love anyone they wish.
yeah.
So what about desire? Is it the same thing? And what would you do if you desired someone who you know society would frown upon?
Oof. Not including criminal desires.
Yes.
Let's
Yes.
not go there. Let's not go there.
We're
You really
talking
hate bad
about
people.
yeah. We're talking about desire. Sabi nila, yung gender daw, yung love daw does not know gender. So, walang gender na nilalagay kung nagmamahal ka. Paano yung desire?
Interesting yung
Is it
sinabi
part of that?
ni Direk Rod Singh, di ba? You guys remember what he said na parang like
Which one?
sexual orientation is like kung saan ka nalilibugan. Like who do you get bored
Oh,
for?
yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah,
You remember
yeah,
that?
yeah, 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 yeah.
That
Yun.
stuck
Yeah.
to me na
Mhm.
it's not necessarily like true for everyone because not everyone is sexually attracted to everything, you know.
Mhm.
Like I've heard people get sexually attracted to trees, like or like buildings and bridges. Diba, meron?
Yes.
That's
Tama.
true.
Yeah.
Yes, tama yun.
Exactly.
You can go to my country because we can marry fairy here.
A fairy? You can
Mm.
marry a
Yeah.
fairy there?
Yes,
Oh
yes,
my
and a tree, of
god!
course. Yeah,
A
if you want to.
Oh,
tree!
Yeah,
And
that's
What?
it's your
guys,
chance.
guys,
that's
Do
a
you believe
practice
in
thing.
fairies, Miles?
if I get old
No,
and I
I don't
don't
even
have,
believe in that. Oh my god.
alam nyo na
Joke
guys,
At
lang.
least it's
alam nyo
legal.
na,
Joke
Legal ba?
lang.
alam nyo na, when I
Dito,
reach 30 at wala pa akong someone, I'll go to Indonesia and marry a fairy.
fairy!
You can do that here. You can
Or
do
you
that
wanna
here.
be a fairy, Cholo?
Thank you for giving me a choice.
But
Thank you for giving me a choice.
you always
Thank you
have a
so much.
choice.
Yeah, I'm gonna
You
think
always have
about
a
that.
choice. You can go to Japan to marry your doll as well if you want
Oh,
to.
they have like
A what?
pillows. They have...
Yeah. Yeah, in Japan you can marry a doll.
No,
In
I'm
Japan,
just
Oh.
I'm just gonna go to Indonesia and be a fairy so that someone
Okay.
can marry
you'll
me
be a
as well.
fairy
Come.
na lang.
Call
Yeah.
me.
At least I have someone.
Call me. I will arrange it for
Oh,
you.
thank you,
I'll
Miles.
go to Indonesia. Joke.
Parang nagiging desperado na po, no? Sorry.
Oo.
Okay. Sige. I'll give this floor to you. If you have any questions that you want to ask, one question from any of you. If you want to ask anything, let's all answer it.
we were prepared to answer. We were prepared to ask.
Yeah.
You
Kung
can
ano
ask
lang,
anything. You can ask
kung ano lang
anything.
yung anything that you can think of right now.
Oh, what do you
We have a
guys
lot
think
more
of the
questions.
show so far? I mean, are you like having fun? Like, I'm constantly checking comments on our
Yeah,
YouTube,
I
but like,
hope you guys are
Yeah.
please.
kasi like I watched like yung mga reactions, ganyan.
I,
Pero
I, I
like,
watched the chat as well.
yeah, do you have any like, you guys, yeah, like what do you think of it? I mean, I know we've a far way to go in terms of like
Mm.
production quality and even like acting and all that stuff. Pero
Yeah.
we know that we're a humble production, but
But your third episode, the last episode I saw, was something I was impressed. I was very impressed. Not only with the shots, but with the chemistry that's developing between Ram and Migo. And for the first time in my life, I want to be a water bottle. Yes.
oh, ikaw ba yung nag-comment doon? May nakita akong comment na ganun.
Don't even remind me of that water
Baka.
bottle. I don't want to see it anymore.
Alam niyo na ha.
Oh my God.
Alam niyo na may
Maging
nangarap
water
maging water
bottle.
bottle.
Or
Shout out
bicycle.
to the Twitter account, the Twitter stan account, water bottle ni Ram.
Anyway, okay. Let's see. Next question. Okay.
Who wants to ask?
Wants to ask Miles? You want to ask the question? Any of the questions?
Yeah, I actually want to ask this.
Mm.
Let me choose. We have a lot of questions here.
Mm.
Well, I would ask this to. I don't want to ask this to Cholo because I already asked this to our conversations. I want to ask this to Romeo. Going and living in a country. Are you here?
Yeah.
Okay, so growing and living in a country where religion plays an important part in the society, how does religion affect your perspective in life, and what does being religious mean to you?
Well, I myself is a Roman Catholic, but however, I make sure that the way I make sure that I'm not wait lang, hirap pala.
It's okay.
Sabi na eh.
Uh-huh.
Patisis na naman po.
Feeling ko we should have like talagang ano self self awareness exercise to hindi ako prepared. Hindi kami prepared.
You can
Got
also
it.
answer in Tagalog because I have two translator here for me.
You got it si Papa Jesus. Ingat.
Sean, I think
Lord,
you're the
are
last
you
person to
there?
say that.
I'm sorry. I mean, Miles,
Lord.
no.
What's
Well,
the question,
well,
religion?
I'm not as religious as most of the people
Mhm.
are nowadays, but I try to be not affected with what I with what religion I belong. I make
Mhm.
sure that um, everything I do, everything the way I execute things, the way I do my the way I live in my everyday life, I make sure that it's for myself and
Mhm.
it's for the good of the people that are um, that I surround with.
Okay. I think I have the kind of same perspective as Romeo. So I myself am Roman Catholic, but I don't really practice it right now. So like going to church is because like my mom asked me to do so, or because there's no one that can drive the car to the church, so I have to do it for my parents. But
Mm.
for me, being religious as an individual, I love this one Bible quotes. Is it a quotes? I think it's not a quotes, but there is in the Bible that one verse that I really love is your faith without good deed, it's that. So actually for me being religious as an individual, Doesn't matter what your religion, because I believe that all religion actually teach us to be a good person,
Mhm.
and it should be implemented in our daily life. So if you are able to like memorize all the verse in the Bible, it does, for me myself, it doesn't matter, as long as you, the most important thing is you can do it in your daily life. Like you can implement all the good learning that Jesus or like Allah or Muhammad said in the Bible, in the prophet, into your daily life. So me myself, I don't think like being religious is you always go or go to church or do your prayers
Mhm.
on time on those kind of things, but
Mhm.
how you actually implement the good learnings that you have from your experiences into your daily lives. I guess that's it.
I uh, I also grew up in a very religious community. In fact, I was an altar boy when I was in elementary, and I studied in La Salle School, which is basically um, a Catholic school back in high school and college here in Bacolod. So, that being said, I learned all the teachings. I learned all the, as such, although would say, this might sound like a theology class because I've been learning that since I was grade six. I mean, grade seven. So, there. That being said, after all this and after my stint as an altar boy, I learned that it's not always the case that we have to memorize the Bible verses. It's not the case that we have to follow all words there because as they say, times change. Nagbabago din yung perception ng tao. And as we know, the Bible has been translated and retranslated for a lot of times, more times than we can count. So minsan yung perception ng spirituality is different na, especially ng mga baguhang. I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm not saying they're wrong or that yung talagang dapat na religion is yung religion ko din kasi hindi naman ako nagsisimba. Pero what I took from all these learnings and from all these spiritual experiences is that um, kung mabuti kang tao, if you are good to somebody else at wala kang inaapakan, then you're spiritual. Because eventually, may pinaniniwalaan ka and then that uh, technically that conscience is your guide. That's somebody up there, if whoever you believe it to be, kung ano man ang pangalan niya, whatever his name is or her name is, that's your conscience. That's your guide to be a better individual. Bakit? Kasi in order for us to grow, in order for us to be better with our brothers and sisters, kasi kung tingnan natin, lahat tayong magkakapatid eh. We're all brothers and sisters. Um, Hindi tayo magkakasundo kung iniisip lang natin is ang pangsarili natin. So all we have to do is think, love ourselves, but think also for the betterment of the others. Yun lang. Yun. That's what I believe spirituality and religion should be.
And
Yun.
also,
Amen.
Mm-hmm.
I think that being bad and being good is it's a decision. You just
Mhm.
have to choose between the two. The
Tama.
moment you wake up every morning, you just have to ask yourself, do I want to be good, better person, or do I want to be a bad person in the picture?
Yeah.
That's true.
Mm.
Actually, can we smile a bit because like everybody in
Oh,
the comments say, can you
Oo nga.
smile?
I was
Oo nga.
smiling when I
Luis,
Everyone's
read
like
it.
alam mo,
too
sabi dito sa
serious. We
comment
are like too
section,
serious.
we are all
Like
serious.
actually,
We are all
everyone's
serious.
actually.
It's hard to talk about
actually,
religion
Denjo,
smiling though.
actually,
That's
Denjo is about to sleep. Inaantok ka na, Denjo.
No, no,
Denjo.
nakakakontak na.
Okay.
So I think
And then si Cholo din.
Actually, I was thinking kasi, and I actually
Yeah.
came up with a question.
Mm,
yeah,
Parang,
you can
Mm.
ask.
yeah, based from what Romeo said, no, na
mm,
yung good or bad,
mm,
I don't know which one needs to weigh more. Yung
mm,
intention ba or yung execution? Kasi you might have good intention, but the execution might not be, the usual good.
Mm-hmm.
And we can have, or, alam mo yan, do you get
I
me?
love I love the question. It's actually basically
Mm-hmm.
saying that um do you agree on the saying or the quote that says the end justifies the means? Something like that. Am I
Yeah,
correct?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yun,
exactly.
yun, yun. Um, kung ako, if I were to answer that, I think it depends on the situation. And it depends on not only your intention, but on ultimately, kung sino who will be affected by that decision. Because sometimes, if it's selfish, if you only think that the decision is for yourself and for a particular loved one, kung if you are deciding for a particular person because you love that person, and then it's a selfish decision. Whatever course you may take, um, I still think that it will still the better choice will always be for the benefit of everyone, or for the benefit of more people. If it hurts you, if it hurts the one you love, but it basically saves a life, or basically saves everyone else around you, kahit na masaktan ako, kahit na masaktan yung mahal ko, even if I have to sacrifice, then that will be the better choice, because ultimately it's a sacrifice for
Mm-hmm.
love.
Yes.
And
Wow. I
yeah.
mean,
Agree.
That's
For
the
me,
yeah.
it's
that's the
always
classic
So,
yeah.
utilitarianism
But for me, it's always the
problem.
intention first before the
Yeah.
action. Actually,
Hmm.
you need to be firm
Mm.
on the purpose first. Like, what do you want to do? Because like
But
I mean, like, even if like you cannot do it properly, I mean, like the
mm,
intention or the purpose that we have in mind, it's always drive us
mm,
to drive our actions. But yeah,
mm,
like sometimes we, even though we have like good intentions, sometimes we just cannot like there are things that we cannot express ourselves clearly or in a good way. But
mm,
like sometimes people actually mad at you, but they actually have a bad intention. Just they cannot express themselves that clear or that
mm,
good
yeah.
in a good
mm.
way that we know. But
Correct.
that
Yeah.
they have a good
Yeah.
intention. So for me, it's always the intentions first. Because if you have a bad intentions at first, whether it's a good act or bad act, still, like you can see or you can sense the intention.
Yeah.
But what if the two intentions are actually good?
Yeah. Yeah, that was on my mind. For example, we're all
Mm-hmm.
superheroes, and
Yes.
um there's this person that could literally blow off the whole world.
Mm,
Mm-hmm.
But that person will die. If not,
mm,
the world will perish.
mm,
Well, as you know. So both intentions are good. You want to save this person and you want to save
mm,
humanity. So
mm,
which one will be the greater decision? Would it be to kill this person just because that's for for the
yeah.
betterment of everybody, or
Yes.
should we sacrifice this person who,
Si
well,
ano,
it's fate
si Snap. Ano
na,
pangalan
Mm,
niya? Yung
well,
nag
it's
snap.
fate. It's fate kasi 'di ba? This person doesn't know that when she or he is born that, she will blow off the whole world. So
Mm-hmm.
what to do?
ah, example lang. Gusto ko yung question mo actually, Cholo. It's actually thought provoking. If you look at if we go back to the Avengers, okay.
Si
Alam
ano,
natin,
what's his
all of
name?
us watch the Avengers, correct?
Yeah.
I think so.
Thanos.
Thanos,
The purple guy.
Thanos,
Yeah, there.
yeah, the purple guy,
Oh,
Thanos,
I
actually
forget.
had good intentions if you look at it. That's why he's
yeah.
a multi-dimensional character. If
Yeah.
if you ask him, his main purpose was to actually save the world in his own way. But uh, looking at that, is the intention really good enough for everyone else? That goes back to my answer. That is a selfish.
Mm-hmm.
That's still a selfish decision for him to make, because ultimately it is a selfish intention.
Well,
Kasi
mhm.
he's just looking at what he wants. He did not care what others felt, or that others will be dying, that others will be. He wants to purge the world of what he thought of was of what he thought of was uh, not needed. Gaya nito, we're in a pandemic now. If
Mhm.
I were given a chance to be a test subject, so that everyone else can get the virus, the pandemic ended, and if I have to sacrifice myself, do you think, given that opportunity, are you in a position to say no? People might say no. I won't. If it will save everyone else, I will say yes. It's a matter
Mhm.
of putting yourself in the perspective of others. It's not me being thinking that I will be a hero after I cure everyone else, but it's basically a conscious effort. It's looking back at all the previous questions. Um, what's your conscience? What's your religion? Who do you believe in? And what are you as an influencer? Because ultimately, you influence everyone else. So
I
hindi
think
ka
a good
selfish.
I think a good example of that is like if world leaders will take the vaccine.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I love that.
exactly.
I
Like
love that.
if Obama, George Bush, and the other guy get the
Yeah.
vaccine, and then Trump doesn't, so
Mm-hmm.
that's a reflection of his character.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's a real world application of what we're getting
Mm-hmm.
at here.
Yeah.
But if it's in the case that Cholo just gave us, I guess it's always for the greater good. I mean, you
Correct.
have to make tough decision in your life where
Um.
you have to choose like which one
Yeah.
yeah, you have to kill somebody, but
Mm,
which one that you have to kill,
correct.
I think it's always like for the greater good.
It's somebody actually influencer official um commented in the comment section. It's like what Abraham did to his son. He
Yep,
was
yep.
asked to sacrifice. That's
Yeah.
a religious question, but he did not hesitate, because ultimately he was not selfish. Yun, there.
Di ba
So,
naging religion plus to?
tama. Sabi nga ni
I
Cholo,
told you guys, it's gonna be a theology class. You didn't listen to me. I saw it coming.
Oh my gosh, I threw out
Oh
all my
my.
notes na. I don't have them anymore.
Okay, mamaya may
So,
pa-quiz si
Graduate na
Mayora.
ako dyan.
any of you
I
have
told you
another
Sino
guys.
ang
question?
Just
sasagot?
listen to me.
okay,
Any of you have another questions? Maybe
I've been
you can
listening
ask.
all
You can
night.
ask anything.
I
You
love
want
his
to ask
questions,
like a
by the way.
silly questions? That's okay. From a silly
Yeah.
question, we can turn it into a serious one.
I mean,
Anything.
you have a whole list, right? So
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, we can just grab it
That's
out.
okay. Here. I want to hear from each of you, because I know you have your own advocacies, and you have your own beliefs. Um, without being religious, or without being spiritual, what is one advocacy you'd like to talk about, or to push through, and to convince other people of? What would that advocacy be, and how would you convince people? By, know, by being an influencer. I like to talk to the girls first.
Mas, gising. Diyan ka pa.
Antok ba yan?
Stockyard.
Good morning.
Um,
uh, medyo personal sa akin eh.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Ooh.
oh, sure, personal naman for us all. Sige, I'll start. Um, it's personal because I'm studying. I'm trying to study right now. I'm going back to school, and and I empathize with every student out there right now who's having a hard time, especially with with high school or any like actual school kasi grad school na ako eh. So it's really 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 difficult on top of grad school na na online classes pa siya. So shout out sa mga estudyante ba dyan lahat. But
Modular.
yes, exactly. But right now, like what Trolla said nga na parang you can talk about all your morals and all your values and all your advocacies, but without actual action and execution, then what's it for, right? So right now I'm trying to study stuff for environment and to say that climate change is real and that for me specifically, I didn't care about climate change because like what's that, right? Like okay, sure, iinit and then not as too big, but like how does that affect me, right? But I recently found my angle with it kasi it's ano eh, it's multi angular, multi-dimensional yung climate change. From every point of view, it affects us. But for me specifically, I'm going towards human rights and climate change because at the end of it, climate change affects yung mga pinaka-vulnerable sa atin. Or whether it's, the poor, the indigenous, women,
Mhm.
children, everyone who's vulnerable is in directly affected, especially now after all the typhoons that passed us. It's stupid. It's stupid to deny it. Kumbaga.
Um,
And the thing is, the Philippines is not a country of climate change deniers. We're not. We're not. We're just
mm,
not. uh,
exactly.
so we all know it. We just don't know exactly the ins and outs of it, but we know that it's real. Unlike in first world nations where it's a debate. Like it's kind of
Yeah.
like wearing masks.
Hmm.
Na parang for
Mm.
us, yes, we wear masks because we care about the safety of our community and our parents and our grandparents. But for them, it's a political statement. So
Hmm.
that's a funny thing that this is a debate when actually we should all be gearing towards climate change. But thankfully, I'm living in a time where there are a lot of people behind the movement. So while at the same time I'm pressured to feel that I'm just one of many, I'm also excited because there's many of us out there. So I really am trying to equip myself to be part of that movement. I actually joined a couple of climate reality organizations, and I'm still working on it. I'm not rushing myself because I don't want to go out there and get on that platform and ride that bandwagon of greenwashing everything without
Hmm.
actually, fitting the role. So that's where I'm coming from. And I don't share this. I don't share this to a lot of people, honestly. I only share it to people who ask and personal friends. So yes, so that's my point of view.
It's admirable, actually. Denso, you want to say next? Your
Actually,
Roxy.
actually, I'm really thinking what will I say, but
Hmm.
I I really don't talk about this a lot.
Hmm.
It's my frustration. I really want to become a doctor, but we're not rich. I don't
Hmm.
have we're I'm not born rich. I'm not born with with a golden spoon on my mouth.
Hmm.
One thing I realized that each and every LGU, the ho- each and every LGU, there's what you call this in Tagalog, may pagkukulang sa healthcare system ng bansa.
I
It,
agree.
I came from Bulacan.
Hmm.
I came from Marilao, Bulacan to be exact. We don't have public hospital there. People will go to Malolos just to to afford to have a public health care.
Hmm.
There are many children dying each and every time because they can't afford private hospitals. That's the sad truth. Majority of the Filipinos can't afford private hospitals,
Hmm.
and they really need um, health care. For me, probably I want the government to focus more on healthcare system because me myself, my friends, they're not rich. There's an incident that one of my friend's son died because they can't afford private hospital. I mean, it breaks my heart to see personally my friend losing his son
Mm,
just because they can't afford a proper health care.
mm,
I mean, I hope that this government or the future governments will focus more on healthcare system, on scholarship for those who want to become a doctor like me, but I don't have enough money to support the
mm.
education for medicine. I mean, I hope that someday, somehow, the government will realize that we should focus more on healthcare system. That's all.
I actually agree with you on that because I am a frontliner. I am the director of the contact tracing team of our LGU. And I realized that as well when I started working as a frontliner when this pandemic happened. And I realized that most of the doctors that we have here in our own LGU does not live or come from our own LGU, but are new doctors from Bacolod. I live in the city next to Bacolod, and it's about 22 kilometers away. So we have our own hospital, but still, even if we do have healthcare services in the barangay level or in the city level, it is not enough because what is an 800 bed capacity hospital? What can it do if your population is 177,000? Um, that is a very good advocacy because there are a lot of smart kids who actually just need a certain push and just needs um, s- sponsorship or financial assistance so that they can get the dream, not only the dream, but basically a way for them to help their own people as well, because that's the main objective or aim of your advocacy, which I admire so much. I hope you get that sometime, because if you look into it, my cousin is actually a scholar of a DOST for chemistry. You should look into that because they do have give full scholarships for sciences, including medicine, I believe, which has a semestral cost of about 100 to 130,000 pesos per semester.
Okay lang
But
yan, Denjo. If you can't
ama,
be a doctor, magpaaral ka na lang.
Yan, gusto ko.
Oh my god!
I think
Yan.
it's too late for you na. Pero alam mo yun.
Oh, it's never too late. It's never too late.
it's
Oh
never
my
too
god!
late.
Sabi nga
Never
nila, di
too
ba,
late.
I believe that children are our future.
Alam mo, may
Yes.
edad ka na
Yan.
eh.
Parang lyrics ng
Ganyan.
kanta yon, ba't hindi pa natin kinanta yun, no?
Ganun, sorry.
Sige. Who wants to go next?
Me.
Mouse?
Mas.
There. Mouse.
Yeah. So I guess it's always been highlighted that I'm an advocate for body positivity.
Mhm.
But before, it was very recent lang that I became an advocate for body positivity because I've been insecure my whole life. But really, I'm an advocate for single mothers, young single mothers, and the abused, mentally abused, physically abused women, whoever. I've been speaking out from experience since I'm a mother myself and I have gone through abusive relationships myself.
Mhm.
I've told my story and I basically I tried sharing my story even though it was very difficult for me, and that's when people started asking for my help, started seeking for my advice. What did I do to carry on, to move on? Why didn't I end my life? what pushed me to um, push through, basically. So yeah, I just wanna bring that out because basically I've been a body positivity advocate very recently, but I'm mostly like for the abused and the single moms. Hello.
Thank you
Thank
for
you,
sharing,
Maz.
Mas. Like
Thank you, Maz.
whenever you share your story, grabe, sobrang
Mm,
the first time I met you, grabe, yung respect ko for you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes, yes.
exactly, exactly. Romeo, you want to share your advocacy? I'd like to hear Cholo's last because medyo kanina pa siya nag-iisip. It's obvious he's been thinking. So, si
Actually,
Romeo muna.
sorry.
Romeo,
Yeah, yeah,
pakikilaw ng baso. Joke.
So basically, ako naman, I am an advocate of financial freedom.
Mm-hmm,
Because that's part of my work as well, and I have this thinking that Filipinos are financially illiterate, and
mm-hmm,
according to statistics, to Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas, almost 70% of the Filipinos nowadays are financially illiterate. Um, there's this question that keeps on popping on my mind. Um, will does having that financial literacy and life insurance, will it end poverty? It's it's a question that keeps on bothering me, and there are projects that are I try to work on when it comes to financial literacy and having an awareness for life insurance, and hopefully sooner or later the government would prioritize having um, a life insurance that are free for everyone.
for everyone.
So that's it.
Like what the other countries actually enjoy. Yeah.
Life
Us
insurance
no.
or
Us no.
I mean,
um uh,
usually the Western countries.
Okay.
The
yeah,
Western countries usually enjoy that freedom. They have government insurance and they are
yeah,
provided for when they're
Yes,
old.
that's true.
Something
That's
that
true.
we here in Asia don't usually have.
yes,
Yes.
yes, yes.
Exactly.
And you think what do you think? If all Filipinos have insurance, they are insured, would poverty, will it still exist or no? What do you think? I mean,
Um.
having that life insurance as a backup and
Mhm,
being financially literate,
correct. Uh,
do you think will
I
it will?
think I think poverty has been in our country for such a long time that even if you give out insurance right now, if you walk out the streets and give out free insurance to everybody, and then they get to enjoy that insurance after, still poverty will still be there because it's inculcated in our culture and in the minds of
Definitely, yeah.
a lot of people that yeah, you said that one part of your advocacy is actually financial um,
Freedom.
education as well, because if you just give out the insurance, what will they do with that? Even
Like,
with the help the government is giving out now, the financial assistance the government is giving out to the poor, with the previous and the other precedents that we've had, still poverty is there because people will tend to uh overstep or overthink. Even if ngayon, yung alam niyo yung four-piece program
yeah, yeah,
ng
yeah, yeah.
gobyerno.
I
Yeah.
have the same thoughts right
Um,
now.
Yeah.
correct. Kahit na andyan siya, hindi pa nabibigay yung four-piece, nabibenta nila yung makukuha nila. They actually loan it out. They get it in advance from loan sharks and all that. So
Yeah.
if we cannot educate people and give them, train them to think financially, or to think that this is their means, this is how you should do it, then no, the hunger and poverty will still be there, because as of now we do not have the capacity to give out jobs for everyone,
Yeah, yeah,
because
yeah.
not everyone is literate, financially speaking.
And just to say lang, yung four-piece, it's one of the worst projects that the
I
government
agree.
have
I
ever
agree.
implemented.
I agree.
True.
As
I agree.
ginagawa lang niyang mahirap
Totoo
pa rin
kasi,
Tama.
totoo kasi
I agree.
kahit even mayaman sila, nakakakuha pa rin sila ng four-piece kahit hindi naman para sa kanila.
Tama. I agree.
Yeah, yeah, there are
Diba?
I agree with
cases.
that.
Maski nga dito sa Laguna, may mga ganyan nangyayari talaga na sila yung four-piece member pero mayaman naman sila. So, they
Mhm.
don't deserve that four-piece.
Yeah, yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. And to think na ang nakaka-receive lang ng mga four-piece na yan, yung mga makikita niya na mga chismosa dyan sa mga kanto, di ba? Yung
Tama.
mga tambay dyan. So,
Tama.
ginagawa niya lang ding tamad yung Pilipino talaga.
And then,
Basically.
if you actually look at it, the day that they actually give out the four-piece money, there are lots of bazaars sprouting out of
Yeah,
the venue. That the money that they get for the financial assistance, they just spend it out right
yeah,
then
yeah.
and there. Yeah.
Can I give my
Uh,
opinion on that?
yes, please.
Even though I'm not a Filipino, but I guess
Mm,
like
mm,
we have
yes.
sort of like the same things
Mm,
that we need to
mm,
solve in Indonesia as well,
mm,
and the government here in Indonesia also giving
mm.
like financials, what do you say, financials
Support.
Assistance.
support for the poor or for people that underprivileged. But one thing that you should always do, you cannot just give them money. You cannot just give them like insurance. You have to change the mindset, because if the mindset is still not changed, it will be just like you give them the money, they spend it, that's it. You give them the insurance, they use it, that's it. But the
Yeah.
Yeah.
mindset itself is still like, oh, the government will give me more and more and more. And the
Yeah.
nature of human, regardless of our background and our wealth, we always wanted more. So if you
Correct.
only like want give it like give it some amount of money, they will ask for more, because like
Mhm.
in the future it won't be enough. They will ask for more money, but you need also to have you also have to train their mindset, change it so they can have the financial freedom that you want. At the end of the day, I guess the goal is not to provide them with money, but they can survive by themselves. I guess
Mhm.
that what we need, what we want to achieve in the end,
Mhm.
that they can
Literacy.
survive by themselves.
Literacy. So
Yeah.
basically, teach a man, do not give the man fish, but teach him to fish so that he
Yes.
can
Yeah.
feed his own life
Tama.
for the
And
rest of
with
the life.
and what with and with what happened with four piece kasi there was no education
Exactly.
given.
Mm.
It's a project by I think by DSWD. It was
Mm-hmm.
passed. Then
Mm-hmm.
Pantawid Pamilya program
Mm-hmm.
existed.
Program.
No
Correct.
awareness and all that stuff were given to these beneficiaries. It became a monthly support
Mm-hmm.
for these people that are underprivileged, and
Sige.
really one of the worst projects that the
Mhm.
government.
Actually, nabasa ko sa comment section that four-piece, maganda yung objective niya. It's the implementation and yung mindset ng tao, yung
Yeah.
medyo mali. Okay. Masarap, M. Joke. Cholo, you have
Miss one
anything
ni
to say?
Josh.
Okay, I
Oh,
ate
wow.
that for lunch. Miswa.
To
Ay,
stay
What
nasan si
about you?
Josh?
healthy.
Nasan si
Um,
Kevin?
Ay, kasama nga ba
We're
yun?
missing Kevin and Leon. And the other Kevin. Two Kevins and one Leon. There.
Yeah.
Leon had to, I think Miles told me that Leon had to be somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
and
Oh,
probably Kevin had to be somewhere too. Both Kevins. Anyway, Cholo, your thoughts on the question?
oh, I wouldn't go too far away. I was a victim of bullying. So I yeah. To everyone who
Ikaw?
didn't know, yeah. I was an obese kid, like really big, and I was really dark skinned and I had ugly teeth. I was a perfect description of an undesirable child, as the others have told me. Yeah, they said
There's
that
no
right
such
to
thing.
my face.
There's no such thing
Yeah.
as an undesirable child. And
They
look at
said
you
that to
now.
my face. They said that to my face. Yeah, that's what I had to go through and hear
Mm-hmm.
from, a lot of people, which sucks and really crushed my, whole existence. And I had
Mm-hmm.
to pick myself up. I had to rebuild myself. I had to be someone, that I never even thought I would be. Like, yeah, I had to go through a lot. Actually, when I was a kid, others are always asking me, "What's your height? What's your height?" 6'1", 6'1". Dito sa Pilipinas, they're gonna ask, so nagba-basketball ka? I don't play
Ah,
basketball, and I hate basketball.
you don't?
Kasi when I was a kid, of course, I was fat and I was really this big, and sumasali ako sa basketball. I was joining the other kids to play basketball, and those kids and even their
Mm-hmm.
dads, they told me na you can't join us because you're fat, you can't run, you can't handle the ball, you'll just be, sa gabal ka lang, hindi ka makakatulong, you can't help us, things like
Mm-hmm.
those. So I grew up with the hate of basketball, and I told myself that maybe basketball isn't the only thing, that a child can really be great. No, I think there are other fields, there are other sports. So I ventured into a lot of sports. I tried swimming, I tried badminton, nag taekwondo ako, I nag-arnis ako. So I went through a lot. I've been, finding myself. You know, it was hard for me kasi, with all those words that I heard since I was young, it was like at the back of my mind, something was telling me na you're still not good enough. I mean, you have to show these people that, you can do it, that you're not this undesirable child, that you're something greater. Yeah. I mean, kaya I hate bullying kasi others aren't like me. Thank God na I was born a fighter, not a quitter. Since
Mm-hmm.
I was young, I always told myself na these people are gonna look up to me someday, and I'll prove them wrong. But for others, actually majority, you know, it's not the same mindset for them. They often fall into, the mindset na eto lang ako eh. I mean, hanggang dito na lang ako.
Mm-hmm.
That's why, as much as possible, I keep on sharing my story. Kasi I don't know the other stories out there. I don't know who are the ones na bully. So the least thing I can do, the best thing I can do right now is, share my story of how I worked my ass.
Mm-hmm.
Sobra. Kasi I had to fix everything. You know, I had to I had to change how I look, how I act, how I eat, how I everything, just to live up to those standards of the
Mm-hmm.
society. And I realized when I reached this age that being different is not so bad. I mean, it's what sets me apart
Apart.
and makes me unique from
Mm-hmm.
everybody else. Kasi if we're all the same and we're all alike, that's boring, diba? Parang
Correct.
what would that make you be? You're just like a commoner, diba? And it took me a while to appreciate that, the cracks in all of us, they make us who we are.
Mm-hmm.
Diba? In those cracks, nandun yung experiences natin, our learnings, the things we
Mm-hmm.
had to go through, and they're very important. Yeah, that's why I really just hate, those who bully others, because I don't think no one has the right to tell anyone that you're not meant for something greater. That's awful. That's totally awful, because right now, looking at my life, I think it's better than those who bully me, because looking at their lives right now, well, they didn't finish college, they have a family, and they can't even sustain for their kids.
Mm,
They became addicts. This is
mm,
a true story. I don't know. I'm not saying that it should happen to them, but I'm just saying that they shouldn't have done that to me, or
mm,
other kids shouldn't have experienced the same experience that I had.
Yeah.
So yeah, as a bullied kid, my heart really aches for those who lost hope,
mm-hmm.
who, maybe they're still finding, you know, uh,
Themselves.
a place for them to, feel safe. And yeah, I just hope that changes along as we progress, no? Kasi as we advance into this modern era, everyone is becoming more vocal and everyone is becoming more woke, diba? Sa ganitong
Mm,
situations. I just hope
tama.
na when the time comes, everyone will be aware that it shouldn't be like that.
Mhm.
Correct.
I really
I
like what
admire
you
you.
shared with us, Cholo.
Mm-hmm.
Like one time you
Yes.
were like, I don't know if you shared this on an interview or you said this personally to me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry if you said it to me in confidence, but I'm gonna share it because it's just so beautiful and I can't forget it. Because
Mm-hmm.
you were like,
Please.
when I accepted this role, you like the first thing you did was you looked at yourself and you looked for everything that you love about yourself. And like I was just like, wow, like that's such a simple exercise and such a simple thing that you could do for yourself. And I just didn't yan na naman ako sa first impression ko sa'yo.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't expect that you would be that type of person who would have to look in the mirror and look for, stuff that you love about yourself. It's
Mm-hmm.
such a great thing to hear from you, Cholo.
Yeah,
Uh,
I can show you
ah,
guys how I
Mhm.
looked like when I was young. So you would believe me. So you would believe me that when I say I did not look great, I did not really look great.
mm-hmm.
And I had to come a long way.
Patingin!
Mm-hmm.
Well,
So
while,
yeah.
while Cholo
Nasabi
is
niya yung
looking for the
picture.
picture, can I say something? All of you have like a great advocacy that you want to implement in this world. So if you have like a concrete action that we can help, please do share it to us. We can at least help you to share it to the world.
Yeah.
But to the one
Mhm.
that Cholo just said, it hits me personally because I used to be in that place. I used to weigh like 160 kilo, and um since I was a kid, you know, seeing that you are unwanted for people that is outside your family or outside your relatives, sometimes you can just ignore it.
Mm-hmm.
But me personally, the one that said that I'm an unwanted kid is actually people that inside my family. So since I was 5 years old, I already have a broken self-image that I didn't fix until I was like now I'm 28, and it up until now I cannot look myself in the in mirror and see good things about me. So when I look myself in the mirror, there's always things like you're not worth it, you're just unwanted, you're not loved, even though people keep telling me that I love you, I love you, I love you. Like when people say that I love you, you will feel like happy. For me, the doubt comes first. Like, does it? Like, is it true that they love me? So what I will want to say is like, time doesn't heal your wound, even if you don't do anything about it. So you need to do
Mm-hmm.
something instead of just
Mm-hmm.
like let the time heal everything. No, time that doesn't heal it. Because what I have is like since I was 5 and now I'm 28, still there. The scar is still there. So first of all, to all of you, be careful with your words because your words is really really powerful. So um, it could create a scar that not even like we cannot see it, but it's there. The damage has been done. So be careful with your words. Definitely no to bullying. Um, and to all of you who actually experience things like Cholo or like me, please bear in mind that you're not alone, that you can always ask for help. Asking for help doesn't mean that you're weak. Asking for help is actually mean that you are courageous enough, that you have the courage um, to I don't want to say fix yourself, but to become a better person, to become a better person. Because I know exactly how it feels when you doesn't have a support. So if you actually looking at my Twitter, sometimes I say that you can talk to me anytime, just DM me, because once I used to have a thought of I used to have a suicidal thoughts, and it really hits me hard every time that I see people on Twitter say, I just want to end life. I just want to end everything, because it's not the answer to the struggle that you are in. And please, if you feel like desperate or things, if you are my mutuals, even though you're not my mutuals, if you can reach me, can reach anybody that you trust, please reach them. And to those who actually hear this kind of story, or those who actually trusted enough by this person that shared their struggle, you don't have to say anything. When someone share their story, you don't have to say anything. You don't have to understand it. Even you don't have to like say a word, do something. You just have to be there, because most of the time what we need is actually someone that willing to listen, and someone who is there. So please, everyone, this is like a really difficult time for all of us. So if we can extend the support, please extend the support. And to all of you that has undergo struggle that we didn't know, bear in mind that you are never walk alone. You never walk alone. You never walk alone. You have the support. You always have people that is willing to support you. Yeah.
I can vouch for Miles because she privately personally messaged the cast. Like we weren't
Yeah.
even like premiering yet, but
Yeah.
Miles just like reached out to us, and that was just so genuine and sincere. And thank you so much, Miles, for
Yeah.
offering that.
Thank you so
Thank
much,
you,
Miles.
Yeah.
Mars.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
I have
Thank
found the
you.
picture so you guys can see for yourself.
iPad.
This is me.
But you're
Oh.
cute though.
Yes.
No,
Yeah.
if you won't
Ang
believe
cute
it,
nga niya dyan.
I've already lost like maybe half already here. I was really big. Not really the usual fat kid. I was really,
Mm.
really, really, really fat. So yeah. I had
Mm.
I had to get everything fixed,
Mhm.
you know? Like actually kung bibilangin ko, parang kulang-kulang
Kilala.
10,000 kojik na yata yung kinain ko bago pa ako. You know, things like those. I had to get a whiter complexion just so everybody
Kinakain
wouldn't
ba
call
yun,
me dark
Cholo?
skinned. Ako, kinain ko na. Kinain ko na eh.
Okay. Baka kaya hindi gumagana. Ano ba yun?
But the
Grabe
smile is so
naman.
cute
Relate ako
and
sa
really
Kojic.
bright. Like,
Relate, relate sa Kojic.
Oh my God.
uh, but we are happy that you already overcome it, Cholo.
Yeah, of
We
course.
we are
And you
really
too,
happy.
Miles. You too. I
Yeah.
mean, let's keep our stories burning so that everyone
Yes.
could hear it.
Yes. Is Louis having a hard time?
Naghang siya. Naghang siya.
I thought he was like
Louis.
Oh
having a photo
no.
shoot. Like,
Kaya ba
Louis, are you
today,
there?
Luis?
Okay, you're on
So,
mute.
yeah.
Okay.
So we need to go to the session na.
Yeah. Do you still have questions, Louis? Because otherwise we're going to
Um.
go to the
Okay.
game sessions.
Um. I just want to say something to Miles and to Cholo. Is Cholo still here? Mm,
Yeah.
He is
okay.
still here.
Hmm.
Okay. On the other side of the coin, when I was in high school, I was actually a bully. So sometimes um, bullies also have their own stories, and
True.
I I was very sarcastic. I was very judgmental, and sometimes I even have to stop myself. Um, Even now, I have to control myself because there are moments that I have to basically um, I just want to put a sock in my mouth because I want to say things that will be hurtful to others. But also, we have our own stories. Most of the bullies, or practically all of the bullies, are also They're doing that because they're insecure. When I was growing up, I was always being compared to my younger brother. He was more handsome. He was athletic. He was a varsity player. While I was just the smart kid in the family. I was the eldest. So when everybody compares you, because people always tend to look at the facade first rather than what's inside your head or what you have to say, then you have to get the attention of others so that you can have the attention for yourself as well. So I tend to grab the attention by being a bully to others who are I felt were lesser than I was. So hearing your stories, it's been decades since then. In fact, I lost my brother 4 years ago, and there are certain things that we learn as we grow old, as we have more experiences in life. Um, that's true. Words can change a life because words can actually destroy a life as well. But first, the best thing I learned is that we need to love ourselves first before we can love others. And then uh, the process of loving oneself is also loving the persons, everyone around you, no matter who they are. So it does not matter how you look, cholo. It never mattered, uh, even to family. You never had to change yourself because for you that is basically just uh, a way for you to tell them or to slap the truth to their faces that you are better. But the fact is, it's also for your own good. It's a process that you loved yourself more.
Yeah.
And
It
for
was it
Mal,
was a learning process
it
that
is.
I realized sooner. I realized actually maybe a year ago.
Mm, yeah. And for Miles, even if right now, until now, you are saying that there are moments that you feel loved and you had tendencies to still question why you're there. Uh, you
Mm.
had tendencies. Still remember that if you love yourself because you are made to be here. You have a purpose, and finding that purpose is first loving yourself. So I'd like to say I'm sorry to both of you. I might not be the bullies of your lives, but I was a bully for someone. That's it.
Thank you for sharing
Thank you
that.
po.
It
Thank you
has
so
turned into a
much.
healing session right now.
Oo nga,
But it's
nababasa ko dito
okay.
Ah,
nga sa live
But that's
chat
okay.
eh.
That's okay.
You gotta
It's
find
that.
your zen. Find your zen.
Okay. So we already talked for like 2 hours. Now we have to wrap up. But before
yeah,
we need to wrap up, I want to play a game, just a
yeah,
quick game with
correct.
all of you, and
Yeah,
it will be
go!
it will be paired except for Danger. So
Mm,
Am will go with Mas and Cholo will go with Romeo. But Danger,
Paired. Oh
you will
Okay.
play this alone. You
Okay.
got this, Danger.
Yeah.
The game is
Solo
What is
It's
flight.
this
okay,
game?
Solo
Denjo.
flight ka
solo
kasi.
flight. This
Hoy,
is like solo flight talaga,
solo
Danger.
flight ka kasi eh.
So
cool.
Solo
the
flight.
game
For
is
solo
really
flight,
easy. So
Wait,
you
anong
just
masakit? Yung nasa-solo flight ka? O naiiwanan ka?
or nag-ghost ka,
Boss,
or
parang
nag-ghost
may
ka.
parang may choice may ano pa ba ako? May choice pa ba
no,
ako?
Well,
May
you
choice
can
pa
do it
ba?
alone.
because you're going alone, you actually have the privilege because you can choose among all the cast. So I will give
Correct.
you questions and you can
Yes.
choose among all the cast
Ah,
except yourself.
mm, mm.
Okay, okay.
Okay?
Mm.
Okay.
Even
So
those who
I
are
am
absent.
yeah, even though who are absent, you can just
Okay.
name them. Okay?
So who do we
So
start first?
of course, Denjo.
Okay.
Oo naman,
Denjo.
siya yung mag-isa eh.
The question is so easy, Denjo. Okay? Are you
Okay.
ready?
Yeah. Right.
Okay. So among the cast, who is needier when they are sick? Who is the most neediest when they are sick among the cast?
Cholo.
Si Cholo lang naman yung nagkasakit eh.
Oo, cholo.
Ay, talaga?
Okay. Second question. Who is more likely to start an argument or a fight among the cast?
It's not a bad argument for me. I mean, maybe a discussion. It's not an argument that we will fight.
You don't have to explain. You just need to choose.
Oo nga. Denjo, kumalma ka.
We don't need the explanation. We just need
Parang lahat kami.
who more likely to start an argument.
Defensive.
Denjo, kumalma ka.
I don't want to offend any of them, but for me, it's a discussion, friendly
Showbiz mo
discussion.
na yan.
Okay.
Showbiz mo na yan.
I'm torn between two people
Okay, who is that?
because I think it's three of them.
Oh.
It's three of
They're
them.
probably opinionated.
No, because they're so smart, they're so opinionated for their values, their principles, their ideas. I'm torn between Cholo, M, and Maz. Because they're...
Wow!
We're not
it's
friends
music.
anymore.
Then, usap tayo mamaya. ha?
Oh my God.
Friends
Away ba
over.
gusto mo?
Sa mga
Away pala gusto mo, ha?
kapatid na
No,
sasaksiyan
no,
na po
no,
ang
no.
friendship over na
Guys,
nagaganap
you're
po
not
dito sa
friends anymore.
PsychoMilk Live.
Guys, let's be true to ourselves. Let's be true to ourselves. It's a fact.
I know. And that's why
That's
kumalma ako. Kasi fact nga eh, no? Kasi
Yeah,
sabi niya
that's
argumentative. Eh di,
See, the discussion
Wala.
has
So
already
smart.
started right now.
Wala akong sinabi tungkol sa sinabi niya. Ang sinabi ko lang, hindi na kami magkaibigan.
oo, ang sinabi ko lang, usap tayo mamaya.
Friendship over na
Hindi ko
pala
sinabing
talaga to.
mali
No?
siya.
I mean,
Okay.
the three of them are so smart. They're so opinionated. I mean, they really have their own ideas, values that they're really into. It's not bad. I mean, I don't say
Wala
it
namang
because
explanation.
Oo nga. Basta
We get it. We get it. We get it.
Gets
Guys,
what-
wait. Guys,
Hindi kami
wait.
na-offend.
Guys, wait.
Calm down, calm
Guys,
down,
wait.
calm down,
Mouse,
calm
what is
down.
the...
When we
what is
asking
the
the question, you are not
Water bottle.
Okay,
Mouse, what
proceed
is
to
the
the
rule of
next
the game?
questions. There's no rule in the game. So who is the sweetest among the cast?
Wala.
sweetest.
Bitchesa kaming lahat.
I'm the most problematic. I admit. I had
Actually, sweeter
personal
yung tinatanong,
issues
di
that
ba?
I bag, but for me, the sweetest is Cholo, M, and Maz, because they really helped me a lot to overcome my personal issues when I came on the taping. Yeah.
That's true
Yes.
also.
Sweet.
Mahilig si Denjo sa tough
Sweet.
love. In other words.
Okay. Last one. Last one, Denjo. Who is more likely to fall in love first? Okay.
Okay, tahimik.
Okay.
Next question. Tahimik na
Okay.
yun.
You're done. You're done. You're doing great, Denjo. Now let's give the time and place for Am and also Mas. So you can only choose between the two of you.
Mhm.
You can only choose between the two of you,
Yeah.
okay?
Ayan.
Okay.
Laglagan na to.
It's like the Instagram filter yung gano'n.
Yes.
Ah.
Yes. So between the two of
Laglagan
you,
na to.
who is more like what? Okay.
Okay.
We're so
The
different. This is
first
gonna
question.
be easy.
The first question: who takes longer to get ready between the two of you?
Me.
No. Yeah, you. No, because I think back longer, the longest out of everyone. But
No?
she fixes herself. Oh yeah, I do. She fixes
Leon?
herself.
No,
Si Leon?
we can't choose Leon. We can only choose between us.
But
Oh.
Leon
spends-
spends.
So, ikaw,
But Leon
mamaya.
spends a
No,
minimum
both
of
of us.
2 hours.
Both of us nga eh.
Okay. We
Ito
settle
na
with Am.
lumalabas na yung mga sungay namin.
Second
Takes
question.
longer with the makeup.
Who takes more
Maz is
selfies on
natural.
set? Who takes more selfies on set? Maz.
Me.
Okay. Who is messier?
Me!
Maz.
Admitted.
Out and loud. Oh my God.
Yung
Yeah.
ayoko na sabihin.
Who is
Yung mga nakalabas na sa room namin.
next question? Who is more likely to ask for a second time?
For
A
what?
second chance, ganon.
A
Or a
second
second
time.
time.
Second time.
Second time.
Second time.
Second time. Second time.
Wait. This is incriminating. I don't understand the question.
Okay,
Second
Mars,
time,
explain
Maz.
it.
Will you ask for a second?
Second time for anything.
Anything.
Any activity for a second time.
I feel
How-
like
Sec-
when it
second
comes to
chance.
practicing our lines, one more.
Sige.
Let's repeat our lines.
Ako na lang.
One more.
Take
Okay.
2. Ganyan. Hindi, take 1 kaya. Take, Maz, aminin mo, take 1 lang tayo.
Yeah. Most of the time.
The last question. Who is more likely to
Inis?
date a fan?
Me, obviously, because Maz is involved.
I'm not single.
Okay. So the last two person,
Round three,
Romeo
round
and
three.
Cholo. The last round. Are you ready? You can only choose
Game.
between the two of you, okay?
Okay.
Okay.
The first question. Who spend more time in gym?
Romeo.
Ako. Romeo.
Obviously.
Okay. Who is more romantic?
Romeo.
Ha?
Romeo nga naman.
Romeo. I'm sorry.
Kinakabahan ako sa mga sagot nyo.
You know, I'm not
naman.
romantic. Really. Alam niyo yan.
The third question. Who is more likely to arrive late at the appointment?
Kaya
Ako.
na yan.
Ako at times.
Okay. Cholo is still thinking. Okay. The next question. Who is more likely to get turned on for real in an intimate scene with a co-actor or co-actress?
I'm sorry.
Who is more likely to get turned on in an intimate scene with your co-star? So let's say like you're doing
Yes,
intimate
Ate M.
scene. Who's
Ano
more
yan?
likely to turn on?
Makuha kayo sa tingin ni M.O.
Um,
Sige, pareho na kayo. Go.
Hindi makapili. Pareho na.
Pareho na lang kayo. Namumula ka na, Cholo. Ano ba yan?
Kanina
Okay,
pa eh. Kanina
then
pa.
if you cannot ask, I will ask M, Dejo, and Mas. Who do you think? M,
For
which one did you
preference.
choose?
Wait lang. Hindi ko.
Oh, easy.
Dejo, you
You
go.
can
Ang hirap,
even answer
diba?
the question.
Ang
Enjo.
diba?
Hindi,
Enjoy
mahirap
you.
kasi hindi turned on. Hindi pa naman tayo nagda-daring eh.
Yeah.
Yun nga eh.
Never tayo
So-
nag-daring eh.
Yeah.
Unless na turn on ka
Welcome
dun sa
lang
water
lahat.
bottle scene. I think we should be directing this question to Leon, not Cholo.
Yeah.
Ah,
Oo, yeah.
Oo nga.
okay. Okay. Dejo, do you have any choices? No?
I think I burned so many bridges right now. So
That's a good
I don't want to talk anymore.
Strike out ka na, Denjo.
that's a good option for you. Okay. Last one. Who will last longer?
Grabe yung tanong.
Me.
Me,
Oh.
me din.
Oh!
Me. No, me. Me.
Hindi.
Me. No, me.
Me.
Me. No, me. Me.
Me.
Eho na lang
Me.
kaya kayo.
Okay. Thank you so much. Yeah, both of you, I believe.
Both of you. Both of you. Kalma kayong dalawa, okay?
Thank you so much, guys,
May
for
hollow
spending
block
time
kayo
with
sa
Guys, thank
us.
you very much.
Luis, do you want to say
Yeah.
something before we
Guys,
close?
thank you very much for joining us in this 2-hour theology class, as Cholo will say. And then it's been thought-provoking, and I've had a lot of takeouts from this from your answers. As I've said earlier, that this bunch of people, for those who are watching us right now, they are very opinionated. They have their advocacies, which we believe in, and as much as they are just starting, um, in their series. We are behind them 100%. So PsychoMilk is always behind Camp Avenue Suites, Camp Avenue Studios.
Studios.
We will always be there for them in this journey as they grow as actors and as actresses. And once this pandemic is over, I hope we can see all of you and meet all of you in the camp. Miles is planning to go here in the Philippines to basically meet all
I'll
of
be
you guys.
there. I'll make sure
Yeah,
to be with Mas.
yeah.
Mouse.
Promise.
Maybe
Okay,
next
guys.
Yeah.
year. I
You
already
should
look
bring
at
the
tickets.
water bottle. You should bring the water bottle.
The water bottle,
I
huh?
will.
Yeah.
The water
Anyway,
bottle was
again,
Mom's Tonets, I think.
mhm.
Oh, at
I
least
would
alam na
like to
natin
Sponsored.
kung
thank
kanino
Sponsored.
yun.
Direct Rents and our writer staff, Stephanie, for allowing us and Camp Avenue for having giving us time with these gorgeous individuals who has been very vocal tonight. And as we said, these were questions that nobody dared ask. So if some people will ask again, you know your answers. Thank you very
Wait, I
much.
want to
And
say
Thank
Mm.
Thank
something.
you.
you
Mm.
so
yeah,
much.
Ate
Yes,
Thank
yes,
Mals,
sure.
you.
Ate Mals,
Yes.
um, uh, Allen wants to say hi to Cholo,
Oh yeah, of course.
Allen
Hi,
Gonzaga.
Alan.
Hi,
Colin.
Yeah,
Alex.
thank you for
And
your
also,
for your arts. Yeah, we really
Oh
appreciate
wow,
them. You're so
I
Yeah.
love
talented. Thank you so much.
them.
and yeah, and also for Romeo, Jury wants
Jury.
to say hi to Romeo.
Hi, Jury.
Yan,
Okay.
ayan,
Shout out.
napagbigyan ko na kayo ha.
Okay.
Me too, I want to say
Okay,
Yan,
something.
so,
Lizzie, go.
Hi,
Before
Lizzie.
before we end. Yes, hello. Good evening. Yes, hello. Before we end, magpo-promote lang din ako. This coming December 12, I think also Camp Avenue Studios will be there. December 12, 2020, under Bliss Assembly. Yun. First Pinoy BL Series Year and Assembly. Yes, hope
yeah.
na nandun kayo. Sana nandun kayo. Yes, di ba? Andun kayo.
What's your schedule again?
Okay.
Um,
Their
12th
schedule is
December.
my
second
schedule
batch.
morning.
Mhm.
I'm on the first batch, and
I'm
I
on the
think
second
that's
batch.
yes. And please, I need the material.
Mm.
So no, I need the
Okay.
material for uh 60
Press
seconds
press kit.
lang naman trailer
Mm.
and for the photo. Yun lang.
Okay. Okay, Leslie, can I have Danjo to redeem your position? Can you promote the service?
Yeah. Uh, hi. Hi to all. I would like to thank you for all the supporters that supported our first, second, and third episodes. We are really grateful. We are really thankful that you all supported our series. And I hope that you continue your support until the end. In behalf of the whole cast, we're really, really thankful. Thank you so much.
Okay, so for all of you, don't forget to buy the tickets for the advance
Yeah.
premiere every Wednesday, 8 p.m. through
Yeah.
Ticket to Me and
Yeah.
ticketnet.ph. And the premiere of the YouTube is always at a Friday at 10 p.m. at Cam Avenue Studios YouTube channel. So don't forget to purchase your ticket and also to watch the YouTube premiere for hashtag influencers the series. So thank
You
you
know the
so
drill,
much.
guys.
Thank
Thank you so
you.
much,
let's do
all.
this,
Thank you.
guys.
Let's do this. Thank you
I
so
actually watch
much.
twice every week.
Oh,
I watch
Oh,
thank
twice
you for
every
the
week.
views.
May
Thank
Yeah,
utang pa akong translation. Wait lang.
once once just to look at Cholo, and the other one is just to understand his voice.
what kind of statement is that?
Ano
Okay,
raw?
so
Love it.
thank
Once
you
may
so much.
Wala,
translation, I will just send to
wala
you.
akong sinabi.
Okay, thank you
Wala
so
akong
much to
sinabi.
all of you, Cholo,
Yeah,
and
Luis, wala
Matt,
Thank
lang.
you very
Denjo,
much.
Thank
and
you for
also
having
Romeo.
Thank
us. Thank you for
And
you.
thank
having
you
Bye.
for
us.
all the viewers.
Thank
See
you,
you. Have a
guys.
good day. God
Thank
bless you all.
you.